my garden today. It's my favorite place to be. It's beautiful and sunny, and I'm enjoying warming up a little bit. I've got my phone on the right way this time, so hopefully that will be a better video for you all. Just to catch up a little bit, we decided that the property that we had bought isn't going to work for us. We did a lot of the groundwork in terms of space, and at the end of the day we decided that we needed more space to have options for us. So we put it back on the market, and we'll see if that sells or not. It's a beautiful piece of property. It's just not giving us the options that we think we might want moving forward. And it's a little disappointing, I have to tell you, after it's coming on 7 years. I hope I have that right. 7 years of how do I hold this phone? 7 years of renting. It's tough. We've been in three rentals, and I think the Lord has taught us a lot in all three of them. Rental number one, of course, was the little cabin that we just loved, and it was an amazing little house. The flooding was crazy, and we decided not to go forth with that option to buy because it needed so much work. It was overwhelming, and it's a shame though, because I would have loved to have done more there on that property. Rental number two was a different blessing in that it was a 3-minute walk to Tom's work, and we really enjoyed living in town and biking to the library and to the coffee shops. It took lots of walks into town, and the in-town living was really nice in a lot of ways. We had neighbors that were great, so we didn't have any issues that other people may have with living in a close community with neighbors. Ours were pretty great. So, and then we had to move from that one because there were some septic issues, maybe because our family is so big, I don't know, but apparently they needed to do some work on that, and rather than doing the work on it, they decided that it was going to be better for us to go. And as far as we know, the house is still sitting there empty and waiting to be updated. But that was a blessing, because then we ended up here, and now we're in this big house, bigger. I think it's even bigger than the big house we lived in, and sprawling, but beautiful grounds, and 5 acres, and no neighbors. I mean, we can kind of see one down the hill, but it's very private, and it's been wonderful to have a garden again. So we've got chickens again and ducks again, and that was a sad thing. Speaking of updating, we had 5 ducks. We have golden 300s. They are wonderful. They laid eggs all winter long. There was no drop in production whatsoever, unlike our chickens, who just quit when the light went out. And I'm not real good at faking it, I guess we would say. It's like, if there's no light, then there's no light, and they just don't lay, but then you're like feeding them still, so you're not getting anything back. So that's always a hard thing to know what to do. But I decided I didn't want to pay for the electricity to keep them laying. It just wasn't penciling out for me. So the ducks laid all year, all winter. No matter how cold it got, we had eggs, so they were wonderful. Unfortunately, half of our flock has been picked off by probably coyotes. The dogs hear them and chase after them, but by the time they get there, it's too late. They're pretty quick. That's been a big disappointment. So we've got 2 left, and we're hoping they stick around. We don't have good fencing around our whole property. It's a large property. It's not even ours, so they're kind of vulnerable. And even the chickens, when we let them free range too, they're vulnerable to eagles and hawks and coyotes, fox, things that will just pick them off if the dogs aren't more aware and nearby. Even now I can see my ducks. Let's see if I can turn this around a little bit. How do I do this?
There they are. There's one, and the other one is
I can hear her. She's around. Probably hiding somewhere, but it's kind of sad enough to see that their little gang. There's the other one. There we go. Hey, Ducky. And we love letting them roam and have the greens and the grass. And of course, the eggs are so much better for you when you let them do that. So what do? You can keep them cooped up and risk them getting lost, or you can have them free-ranging and expect that, barring really good fencing and really good protection, you're gonna lose them. But I'm standing here under my magnolia tree. They are ready to start budding. I will totally show you these flowers once they come. Even their seeds are so interesting. They've been falling all over my garden, but they're very interesting looking, these pods. So I'm in my garden because that is another change, other than just not knowing how long it will be before we have our own place again. Yeah, hope this property sells, and that will give us the opportunity to do something else. I've taken out I call them my visiting chairs. There's one for me and one for my visitor, whoever stops by my garden. So I brought out my harvesting little basket because my CSA from the farmers I love are no longer going to be delivering this year. They're taking a break, which kind of puts me in the lurch. I don't know. I really enjoyed having a CSA because they would just pick and choose what was growing, and that's what we would eat. And it's a little different for me than going to the store and deciding what to eat. So I decided I would come out here and just see what's growing and pick whatever it is. This is sprouting broccoli. It's purple. This is overwintered. So I'm just gonna kick the heads off and let these side shoots just keep. Okay, so here is my purple sprouting broccoli. And I guess I just thought I'd come around the garden and pretend, just kind of harvest whatever I see and have, and that will be my quote CSA. So let's not lose the scissors into the composting bucket. And this side, I've got lots of beautiful kale, so we'll cut that. I know what you're thinking. Maybe you're not thinking this, but Carrie Mae, you have 9 people in your household now. I still have 7 children at home. That's not enough kale or sprouting broccoli to feed anybody for a week. And I know that. And I'm kind of seeing this as my experimental garden, and maybe I'll never have a garden that will feed my whole family. Maybe I'll never have a place where I can just do that. But this is what the Lord gave me. This is what God gave me right now. And so I'm just using this little patch to do what I can and to love what He gives me. So I've got some kale now. Flip that around. Got some kale in here. My sprouting broccoli. And I am noticing some leeks that I've overwintered. I'm going to pull one up and see what it looks like. I don't know. Nervous, I guess. Silly, isn't it, to be nervous about pulling up a leek? Twist and pull. There we go. Oh, that looks nice. Stick that in my basket. And I want this big fat one. So twist and pull. And I'm going to stick that little guy back in the ground and see if he comes back. All right, what else have I got going on here? I planted potatoes and I threw a fleece cover over them. Look what's coming up. My rhubarb is coming up. I'm so excited. I love rhubarb. And for the first time, my artichoke plant is coming up. I almost gasped when I saw how tall it was. I'm so excited. Even if I just get one to enjoy, I'll be super happy. And I certainly wish that you could smell these. They smell so good. And I'll be definitely taking some cuttings of those on my way in. Into my little hoop house. It did collapse, as you saw in the last video, but it kind of mended itself. We'll see if it stays. Here are some starts that I've got going. I've planted a few things already into the ground. Maybe too early, but I think that with the fleece cover it will do okay. And there's my kitty, or one of them. And we've got, these are all kinds of greens, mache and minutina, which I'm not sure I'm saying that right. And we've got lots of radishes. We pulled some out yesterday for our salad and they were delicious, but some of them have this going on. Oh, look at that. Lucky me, I just pulled the right one. Ew, welcome to the Pacific Northwest. We have slugs. So, just gonna let that one go. Maybe we'll find a good one in here that hasn't been found. Twist and pull. There we go. Ooh, that's pretty. That's good. Radishes are great with just a little bit of salt on them. And I think we need more than one though. Let's see if we can find another decent size. The leaves on radishes are kind of pokey. I like this guy. I'm just gonna cut off that bitten end. A little bitten end. Cut around that. Enjoy that. And this is sorrel. I have a lot to do with sorrel, so I'm gonna pick a good bunch. All right, I picked a bunch of sorrel. Lots of sorrel and some carrots out of the garden. They smell so good. I wish you could smell this. It's the carroty carrot. That's all I think I'm gonna get for today. I'm gonna go down and look to see if I have any nettle coming up yet. So hello, little girl. And we've got the guineas. Hi, guineas. Hi. You're up here by yourself. Oh, what is this? Am I surprised? Yes, I am. Is this what I think it is? I think I could be wrong. I think this is a honeysuckle that I tried to plant last year and it utterly failed. And now I see this vine. Whatever. Look how pretty the leaves are. It's got this like violet to it right here. Boy, you just never know what's going to surprise you out here. Got some forsythia here, which we've been blooming, forced blooming at home. Oh, and here is a little bit of salmonberry blossoms coming. Those are great. The hummingbirds love them. Plum trees. Heading to where I know I have a patch of nettle. Ta-da! Perfect. 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 Okay, here we go. I think that's a good little batch to start with. I know that when the nettle starts to come out, that it's time for me to start eating more greens and vegetables and to start eating less of the heavier winter stuff like wheats and dairies and things like that. Time for greens. So you may be wondering, what kind of property are we looking for? And the answer is, I don't know. Do we want to do the goats again and the chickens and all of that? I think I do, but I think I've learned to be content with without having them too. I am learning to be content with what I've been given, and I am trying to just keep the main thing the main thing. And for me, that's again to be present with what God's given me to do. And what He's given me to do is to raise my kids and keep my household and, yes, plant a garden. So that's what I've been given to do. And I'm going to continue to do that. And I don't know what's next. I don't know what's tomorrow. It's just kind of a journey, and sometimes the things that you think you want aren't the things that you really need. So I'm learning to just be okay with whatever God has given me, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the next thing. But I will show you what I'm going to do with my homegrown CSA and see what we can come up with for a meal. Okay, so everything's been put away in the fridge, and this is my plan to use a little bit of the sorrel. So I filled up my Vitamix about halfway, and got some garlic and some almonds and salt and pepper and some olive oil, and basically what I'm going to do is just make a quick little pesto out of it. It's a really bright green, although the camera's making it look even brighter than it really is. It's more of an olive green, but it tastes really good. It tastes like lemon garlic, although I would say probably a lot of garlic, so it probably tastes like garlic lemon. But I can use this in any of our sauces. Throw it in some salad dressing. I can put it in some of our meats that we cook. I can even throw a bunch into some mashed potatoes and flavor it that way, and it's yummy. And then here I've got some nettles I threw in, and I'm just boiling it so that I can be sure to not get any of those little hairs in there to sting me. But I'm planning to drink this, so I'm just letting it. It's already wilted. See how it wilts? It's all wilted. It wilts. There's those. See the hairs? That's what will sting you. But once it's wilted like this, it doesn't sting. So, whoops. But it will burn you. So this it's like spinach. You can substitute this nettles for spinach, or like in lasagnas or in soups or anything. Really, it's super yummy and really good for you too. I think it's really drying, so it's kind of like a diuretic in a sense. But after a whole winter of just kind of heavy foods and things, it just feels really good to have that into your body, and makes for a great tonic. So another thing that happened today while I was doing all of those other things is my daughter went to help with some sheep shearing, and she came home with this ginormous fleece. So it's just really pretty and ready for scouring and for doing some projects with. So very cool. I'm enjoying my nettle tea. I added some dried cherries to it. Oh, and that's my call. Well, that was a whole lot of rambling for this video. I'm hoping to get more into specific subjects for videos coming up, and also to do a better job at holding my camera so this doesn't make you seasick, and that sort of thing. That was a hummingbird and my dog, who's very upset because I'm not giving him any attention. Do let me know in the comments if there's anything that you want me specifically to talk about. I am getting my next book together. It's on slow schooling. It's almost ready to be handed off to Tom for formatting, which means then it will need a book cover, and boy, I hate to put a deadline or a thing on when it will come out, because I never know. Just like you, I am in the midst of homeschooling. I'm in the midst of doing laundry. I've got dinner to make. I have boo-boos to kiss. I have dogs to take care of. Kids to drop off. There's always something to do, but we can be faithful in the time that we have and where we're at. So I want to leave you with this quote, but hopefully I can get my dog to be quiet. Here it is. So, this job has been given to me to do. Therefore, it is a gift. Therefore, it is a privilege. Therefore, it is an offering I may make to God. Therefore, it is to be done gladly if it is done for Him. Here, not somewhere else. That's good for me. Here, not somewhere else. I may learn God's way. In this job, not in some other, God looks for faithfulness. And that's by our dear Elizabeth Elliot. So I've been meditating on that, and how wherever God puts us, that's where we can glorify Him. He has a purpose for us to be there. He has work for us to do. It is good for our hearts, minds, and souls to do the job that we're doing every day. So keep on there, keep on there, keep going, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.